Hi guys, welcome back to the Tech Chap, and I wonder if you can guess what today's video is going to be. I do have a brand new sealed iPhone 7 here, and so I think we should do a little unboxing just to see what's inside, what the phone looks like, have a quick run through the specs, a bit of a play around, and see if there's anything good inside. So let's get straight to it and let's open this up. And there it is, the new iPhone 7. Actually, it was one of the first phones that I've unboxed that didn't require a knife to open, so that's quite handy. Anyway, as you can see, here is the iPhone 7. It's in black, not the new jet black, the glossy one, because here that's not actually scratches quite easily, but it's also not out yet, and you can only get it with the 256 gig model. So this is just the normal black version, and if I put the phone to one side, let's see what's in the box. Well, as you can see, we've got the new pair of earpods, and as we will have a look, if we see here, you'll note that they have a lightning connector, because these obviously have to be connected to the phone's lightning port, as the iPhone 7 does not have a headphone jack anymore, which is very controversial and something I will cover in my review, and I'll be testing it over the next few days to see whether it really matters that much. So we've got the new pair of earpods, not the fancy new AirPods, the earpods with the lightning connector, so that's that. We've got the usual lightning USB, which will go into either your Mac or your computer, or of course into the charger here so you can charge it. So I've just finished setting up the iPhone. It's all fresh and new, and it's an iPhone so far, nothing really crazy different so far. Obviously it's running the latest iOS 10, and that's really where all this fancy stuff comes in and looks brand new, but of course you do get that on older iPhones as well, so that's not exclusive to the iPhone 7. So let's run through what is actually new with the iPhone 7, because if you're thinking about buying one, you're looking to upgrade, you probably already know the key features about it, but let's run through them anyway. First and foremost, the design is pretty much the same. As I say, the antennas go around the top now, top and bottom, so it looks a bit cleaner. There's a couple of new colors. The camera on the back is just a little bit smoother. It looks a bit nicer. There's a new quad LED flash there. On the bottom here, you can see there's new speakers, but actually, interestingly, this speaker here is just for aesthetics, I've read. Apparently, this is just purely for looks. It doesn't do anything. This is the normal speaker itself. The sound is improved though, because actually it's now stereo sound thanks to this speaker, and also sound coming out from the earpiece where you usually take calls from. So you do now get stereo sound, so you can play games and get a bit more of a better, more immersive sound experience. So that's quite cool. This is actually now IP67 water and dust resistance. Generally not a huge difference here, but waterproofing is going to be pretty handy. So the screen's the same size and resolution, it's 4.7 inches. So on the inside we've got the new A10 Fusion chip, which is actually significantly more powerful than the A9, which was in the 6S, and it's very, very capable. Whether you'll see that in real life, obviously that's something I'll be testing, but obviously iPhones have felt very fast for a long time. Interestingly though, the processor has 4 cores. It's a quad core now. It's got 2 big powerful ones and 2 lower power ones for doing less intensive things. So you do actually still get a slightly better battery life on the iPhone 7. You get about 2 hours more, according to Apple, than the iPhone 6S, which is an improvement, but iPhone batteries have never been particularly good, have they? So hopefully it'll be a bit of an improvement there. The RAM's the same, it's still got 2 GB, although the Plus model of this iPhone 7 does have 3 GB, but I don't have that phone just yet. So same RAM, but new and improved processor. One of the more interesting new features though is the new home button, which is now fully taptic, or is a capacitive button. It doesn't actually press in. Now you may not know, but if you go to settings, if it'll open, and then you go to general, and you can scroll down to home button, you can actually choose the vibration intensity of the click. So if I press 1 for the lowest amount of vibration and then tap, I get a little vibration, which you feel within the sort of this area of the phone. Actually, it's sort of quite intense and actually going to be quite divisive, I think. It's not something I initially particularly like. I'm sure I'll get used to it, but we'll see how that goes. But also you can of course change it to 2 or 3 to get a much stronger vibration. It very much feels like clicking on one of the new MacBook trackpads. If you've got one of those, that sort of force touch that you can do, it's very much like also doing the 3D touch, which you can do on the phone, which has also been expanded with iOS 10 on the iPhone 7. But again, that's not exclusive to the iPhone 7, that's also the 6S as well. The camera's also been improved. It's still 12 megapixels, but has a wider f1.8 aperture and also larger pixels, so it's going to be much better at low light photography. It's also got that, as I say, new quad LED flash. So camera looks about the same megapixels, which is fine. 12 is more than enough, but the wider aperture is going to be a big help for getting brighter and better low light photography there. So camera, as you can see, the bump is a little bit different, but that should be quite a bit better, so I'm looking forward to testing that. The front camera has also been upgraded. It's now 7 megapixels, so that should be a bit better. But also, while we're here, and I've got actually a Galaxy S7 here, why don't I put them together so you can see a bit of a size comparison. The S7 is actually 5.1 inches versus the 4.7 on the iPhone 7, and it's not much bigger, as you can see, and that really is down to the bezels, the screen to body ratio. The iPhone really hasn't changed that in quite a long time. The other thing to mention is that although this iPhone 7 is actually a bit more expensive than the 6S was when it launched in the UK, it's about £60 more expensive, starting at $599, so very, very expensive, but you do get actually more storage. The base entry level is now 32 gigabytes, thank God. You can see here I've not installed any apps yet, but I've got 22 to play with, which still isn't a great deal, but far better than the original 16 gigabyte entry model. So you are paying a touch more, but you are obviously getting twice the storage. So that is quite good, and I'm really glad that Apple's finally come to their senses and got rid of that 16 gig entry level model. So this has just been a quick unboxing of the iPhone 7. I'll be testing it thoroughly over the next few days and weeks to get a good idea of whether it's any good, whether you should buy one. And of course, I'll be doing lots of comparison tests and also a full review of it. So stay tuned to that on the Tech Chat. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.